Hello everybody. Today we're going to be finding the data when given a percentile, okay, or given a bottom percent or a top percent. Okay, so take a second and read the problem. Okay, so here a guy recorded the number of sacks per game for all the football games, and he just graphed that data, and it was symmetric and unimodal. So he modeled a normal model after it. Okay, as a review, find what percent of football games had more than 5 sacks per game. So go ahead and, if you'd like, go ahead and review that. I'm not going to do it. And this is what we want to do. Question number 1. The Miami Dolphins were in the 70th percentile on sacks in one game. How many sacks did they have? So we're starting with our standard normal. We're starting with our standard normal. So basically, we want to go from, I'll just give you a thing. I want to go percent. We want to find the z. We want to find the x. The x is actually how many sacks they had. So using the standard normal. Okay, and this is the idea. You don't necessarily have to do this all the time. That's 0. This will be -1. That'll be 1. Okay, so on this standard normal, we know these are z's. You want to shade in the 70th percentile. Well, what's right in the middle? The middle is the 50th percentile. So since it's a percentile, it's everything to the left. So it'll be a little bit to the right of the middle. So that's it right there. So this is the actual z I'm trying to find. This is important because you need to know if you're looking for either a positive or a negative z. Since it's on the right side of 0, we're going to be looking for a positive z. So we're going to go ahead and pull out our positive z chart. It'll get in the way for a second, but let's make it a little bigger. Okay, so now we're looking for this 70. See a shaded region? How it's on the right side of 0 and it shades to the left? That means these z-scores are all from the positive side of the normal distribution. So we're looking for 70. So it's 0.6985. It looks like this is it right here. I always go below. See, this is pretty close. That's 0.19, but I always go below just to be safe. So 0.52, 0.52. So my z here is, let me get back on pen. My z value for that is 0.52. Okay, so now to change that into an x, we know the formula. If you look back on the last video, it's the mean plus the z-score times the standard deviation. Okay, that's how you do it. It's this many standard deviations. How many standard deviations is there? 1.14. So it's almost like a half of a standard deviation because 0.5 times something is a half. So we want to do 3.89 plus 0.52 times 1.14. Okay. 2.89. Make sure it makes sense. Has to be bigger than this. Has to be bigger than this. Okay, and it is. So 4.483. Okay, so almost about 4.5 sacks. Okay, so it's about 4.48 sacks that game. Okay, all right, let's do the next one. What's the most number of sacks a team has to be in the bottom 15%? So be in the bottom 15%. So to be in the bottom 15%, I'm going to my standard normal again. This is 0, 1, and -1. The bottom 15%. The bottom 15% would be somewhere over here. The bottom 15%. So I'm looking for this z. Is it going to be positive or negative? I kind of gave it away, but it's going to be negative. It's on the left side of 0. It's important. So now I want to go to my negative z chart, and I'm looking for 0.15. 0.15. You guys might be a little quicker than me if you're looking. 0.15. Okay, so here is a 0.1492, so 0.08 off. So that's negative 1.04. Negative 1.004. Okay, so my z here is negative 1.04. Okay, let me go ahead and circle that real quick. If I can write on this, I don't know if I can. I can't write on this, so move that. Okay, so that's my z-score. Are we above or below? Are we above or below? I'm going to go ahead and work out the formula this time and not use the common sense way. Okay, so we know the mean. The mean is, or we're looking for x minus the mean, 3.89, divided by 1.14. So I want to multiply 1.14 on the right side. I want to multiply 1.14 on the left side. Now the number in the numerator cancels out with the number in the denominator. So now I'm left with 1.14 times negative 1.04. This is the algebraic way. If you forgot your algebra, now I want to add this to the other side. I need to take this and move it over to the other side. So I want to add this to get rid of it on the right side. If I add it on the right side, I also have to add it to the left side. Now these two cancel. Now I'm left with x equals 3.89. Now see this minus right here? This would be plus a minus. Plus a minus is just a minus. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this up, and whatever number you get should be below this 3.89. So if you get a number, make sure it makes sense. $2.70, 2.70. Or was it 2.07? I'll get it here in a sec. Maybe not. Where'd you go? Not there. Guess I could just edit this out. Unless you want to see what I'm listening to. Brand new. Good band. Okay. Negative. Still don't know where my calculator went. Oh well. I think it was 2.7. Okay, so 2.7. That makes pretty good sense. Here, let me do this. I'll click back on this. I don't know why it keeps disappearing on me. There it is. There it is. 2.7. That's right. Okay, so this is to be in the bottom 15%, the most you could get. So this would be at most that to be in bottom 15%. That's how you write it in context. At most 2.87, and what am I doing with? Sacks. That's the lower end. So if you get this, and that's pretty bad for that game. Okay, what is the least number you could get to be in the top 1%? So the top 1% is going to be the best of the best. The best of the best. Okay, so here's 0. I'm on my standard normal. Top 1% is going to be over here. Make sure it makes sense. This is where it gets a little tricky. Okay, look at the first one. I looked at the left. I looked at the left. Okay, so is this z going to be positive or negative? Is this z over here? Top 1%. If you're top 1%, that means you're in the 99th percentile. So what am I going to be looking for when I pull this over? I pull this over. If you notice, the shaded region's to the left, so all these numbers are to the left. So if they ask for top 1%, you have to go to the left. So I'm looking for the closest thing to 0.99. These are a little easier to see. I'll just use this one. It's just a little tad bit over, but 2.33. 2.33. So the z-score for this would be 2.33. And I'll just use the quick way. So it's going to be 3.89, which is mu, plus 2.33 times 1.14. 1.14. How many standard deviations? How many standard deviations? Okay. So 6.54. You need at least 6.54 sacks, say 6.55, I'll round, sacks to be in the top 1%. Okay, so that's 3 examples. Make sure you try them, go through them, make sure you know how to do them. I'll probably do one more example just to get you more practice. And that's it. Thanks for watching.